Good evening, sisters, brothers, trolls, mothers, others. Good evening. Thank you for tuning into Vegematic's sporadic Vegematic show. And tonight I just thought that, hell, I'm bored, and decided that it's time to keep my loyal audience amused with my witticisms and peculiarities. Well, sure, and first off, let me be the first to say that we're all in a mess. And sure, the fascism is rising, and as fast as the sea temperatures, and Antarctica's on fire. We all know this, and there's people dying from a pandemic and dropping dead like flies, and we all know this. But I'm going to tell you, we need to be happily hopeless rather than hopelessly happy. Because if you're hopelessly happy rather than happily hopeless, then you're a bit, you got it backwards. So anyway, I thought for tonight that we might examine some rather interesting names of American towns. And what better place to start our tour than Minnesota? This is to realize that America still has a sense of humor. Somewhere inside it, there's this sense of humor just waiting to come out. Come on, instead, stop with the guns, stop with the killing each other. Just tell jokes or something like that. Because let me tell you, us Canadians are damn worried. We're too close to you, and you're about to explode, and we don't want to be anywhere near there. So if we could get like get Trump to build a big wall to keep us Canadians out too, we'd really like that. And I think we might even agree to pay for it. Anyway, we start our tour of interesting names in Minnesota, where we see that the town of Embarrass, Minnesota actually exists. Now, could you imagine living in a town that you were embarrassed about? And how do these place names show up? I mean, who thinks them up? And I'm really embarrassed. I think it's a good name for this town I'm about to found. But I'm so embarrassed about it. Yeah, she saw me naked. And in the great Midwestern Rust Belt, we come to the magnificent state of Ohio. I'm not sure what's magnificent about it, but there are some things I'm sure. I'm sure Ohio's got some good things. For instance, it has very creative town names, like River Styx. Where do you live? Across the River Styx. Yeah. And there's Pepe, Ohio. Now, I'm not even gonna guess what created that name, Pepe, Ohio. That's some kind of pervert that founded that town. I'm telling you. Say, what do you take me for, a sap? Of course, if you find Pepe kind of repulsive, well, you can always move on to French Lick, Indiana. I wonder how that got its name. I'm just fascinated by folklore. French Lick, Indiana. I think I might want to visit that someday. Which reminds me, did you know that in Iowa there is a Long Dick Creek? A stream. And it's near Fertile. It's near Fertile, Iowa. Yes, Long Dick Creek, near Fertile, Iowa. What fun. So if you want to be fertile in Long Dick Creek, Iowa, there you go. Not to be outdone, Idaho. Good grief, Idaho. Now, is that where Charlie Brown comes from? Because it sounds like it. But again, the folklore behind these names, it's fascinating. Americans are so creative. They're so American. If you thought the best thing about Idaho was their potatoes, then you owe it to yourself to visit Dick Shooter, Idaho. And I'm not even going to guess how that one was named. I'm assuming it was a fellow named Richard who was a good shooter, and we'll leave it at that. But Dick Shooter, Idaho should be on your vacation list of places to go. And one day, if democracy ever returns to America, I may decide to take a trip across America to all of these towns that I've heard so much of and would so love to be able to visit in person. But alas, America is not a democracy, so who knows how long this might take. Now, some of these names make me think that perhaps Americans are a little bit sexually repressed, and it comes out in their names that they give their towns. Now, I would say particularly in Moscow Mitch country down in Kentucky, that would be the case, because you can visit Beaver Lick, Kentucky and Sugar Tit on your way to Big Bone. I'm going to leave it at that. Your imagination. If you're thinking it's something dirty, then it's all in your own mind. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. I didn't name Beaver Lick or Sugar Tit or Big Bone. I didn't name them. Somebody did, and I'd like to know who that was. But you know, there's places like in Texas where you can be uncertain if you live in uncertain Texas, and they're uncertain whether Texas, the uncertain, is going to survive. So I'd like to right now start up a GoFundMe page to raise money for the Uncertain Texas Tourism Bureau. Uncertain in Texas is not by itself, because you can also visit Cut and Shoot Texas. Isn't that fun? Oh, well, I guess it's better than in nothing in Arizona, or Surprise, Arizona. Haha, surprise, it's Arizona. Take off your Indian braids. You can go to Oklahoma, which is now native territory, which is really one cool thing that's happened. Now, are you going to get cheap pot and cigarettes like we do up here? I don't know. Oklahomans will have to decide that. But Nowhere, Oklahoma, and OK, Oklahoma. Could you imagine living in a town called OK? I just thought that was kind of ironic. But, you know, a country that names a town Pee-Pee, what am I talking about? I'm Canadian. Dildo, Newfoundland. Need I say more? But anyway, I digress. And now, not to leave out that state of Utah, the home of the Latter-day Taints, and Virgin, Utah. Now, if you're going to marry your 14-year-old cousin, you want to make sure she's a virgin. I guess that's how they came up with Virgin, Utah. It came to him in a pair of clay tablets or something like that and said, "Virgin, you shall call this town Virgin." So that's my take on the founding of Virgin, Utah. And if we move on to that nice state of Tennessee, where you can live in a town called Dismal. That's just probably the most honest name for a town you could come up with, is Dismal. But not to be outdone, they also have Sweet Lips, Tennessee, which I think is the sister city to Beaver Lick, Kentucky. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check on my check my information. Sometimes I'm a little off on that. But yes, I think Beaver Lick and Sweet Lips are sister cities. But you could live in Nameless, Tennessee. I kind of like Nameless. What do you call this town? I say we call it Nameless, because every other town has a name. So let's call this one Nameless. Okay, we call it Nameless. Nameless, Tennessee. Anyway, I thought that maybe some of these would give you a laugh. And you know, oh yeah, don't forget about Arkansas, home of Bill and Hill. Monkey Run. Monkey Run, Arkansas. Okay, there's got to be a story behind that name. Toad Suck, Arkansas. Toad Suck. I picture these guys all getting together at a swamp and kind of doing the toad licking thing and having a psychedelic experience. And what do you want to call the town, Leroy? Well, we'll call it Toad Suck. And that's maybe how it got its name. I don't know. I'm not a historian or anything. But anyway, I thought I'd lighten up your dismal evening with a little light Vegematic instead of heavy political Vegematic. And remember to be happily hopeless instead of hopelessly happy, because if you're happily hopeless, you don't expect anything except things that are going to get worse, because they always do get worse. It's the Veg's law. Everything that can turn to shit will eventually turn to shit. So with that, I will bid you good night, and thank you for tuning in. I still miss the knob thing, so you could tune the knob thing, and there's no more knobs. Digital sucks in so many ways. But anyway, nice to see everybody, and thank you for watching. And give me a thumbs up. Give me some love. Damn it.